Hey, Lazy Girl Approved fam. We are back today with something a little bit different. I told you guys I would start getting into clothes and other things besides wigs. So today I am going to do a slipper review for you. I need to buy slippers for myself. I can only find one of my slippers. I don't know where the other one went. So I figured I might as well do a review for you guys because I couldn't decide which one. So I figured, you know what? Let me do the Amazon try before you buy and try 6 different slippers, compare them to each other, and get ones that are all across the price range. So I think the cheapest one I got is $24.99, and then the most expensive is $99. So we are going to figure out if the $99 one is worth it, if the $24.99 is worth it, or do you need to spend a little bit more, and all of that fun stuff. So let's get into it. Okay, let's start off with the Clarks that comes in at $29.95. So this is the box that it comes in. Let me show you. And here's what it looks like inside. I'm going to show you guys all the details because packaging, makes a difference sometimes. So it's super soft inside. It's got like let's see if you can see in there, the fur kind of faux fur stuff. The sole is a little bendy. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bendy. It feels kind of weird when you bend it, like it's not going to be super duper bendy, but this is what it looks like. And so I got a size 9. So let's get these out and see what they feel like on my feet. Okay, so that was you seeing them on my feet and putting them on. So just so you guys know, I have different needs maybe than some of you because I'm disabled, because I have autoimmune disorders. So I have definitely things that are wrong with my feet. So I'm going to give you the facts of my observations and then let you know if I would purchase them. And then, it may change. Some of my opinions may change as we go on. Like maybe this one is better or worse than that one, etc. So the things that I noticed about this are, first of all, they're easy to put on. Um, there's so many times with slippers that have that lip in the back when they have this here. I tried to get just slip-ons that don't have this, but a lot of the slippers have this and you can't really get around it. That's the first thing that I test for is, are they easy to get on? Because I sometimes bending over for me, and bending over is not so bad. It's the trying to put my fingers in there to get my foot in. That's the part that usually gets me and irritates me. And, if I'm having a bad hand day, not good. So they're easy to get on. I did have to kind of use my other foot to get it on the second time. But that's, as long as I can do that without it bending in and doing all this stuff and having to readjust. If I can just do it in 2 little swift moves, that's easy to put on. I will say they are warm for sure. And I like that this is taller. So this actually feels like it would keep my ankle warmer than if it was, some of the ones that just have this tiny little baby lip. Um, they seem pretty solid. I walked on carpet and the floor, the hardwood floor. I will say one of my needs is to have, I call it cloud cushion. So I need support, but I more than support need cloud cushion. I need both, but if it's hard and supportive, I can't do it. It will hurt me. So it needs to be kind of squishy and supportive. This one, um, how do I put this? So when I'm standing on the hardwood, I can feel the hardwood. I can feel it under my feet. It's not like it's super thin and like there's no cushion, but it's not super supportive to where you feel like you have a nice thick layer between you and the hardwood floor. There's a layer, but it's one of those where after a while it's going to wear down and it's going to feel like you're walking on the hardwood floor. So I expected more from Clark's, but it is only 30 bucks. So what can you do? Is this better than the Walmart 10, 15, $20 slipper? 1,000,000%. Like I would recommend this over, a cheap Walmart, Target, whatever slipper that you go and purchase because those don't last for jack. And those, honestly, I feel like I trip in those more than anything. So these are solid like shoes as far as they don't feel like a slipper where you're going to be walking around the house tripping over yourself. It's like a solidly constructed. You can wear these around the house all the time and do everything you need to do and not feel like, oh gosh, I'm going to slip and fall, or they're going to slide off, or things like that. So this is our first one. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. Okay, next up is Skechers BOBS Women's Keepsakes Ice Angel Slipper. I don't know what keepsakes means, but this is what it looks like. Let's check it out in person. Yeah. All right. This is what it looks like. And it's pretty cool. I'm assuming the BOBS means and it says help save dogs and cats. So this is the inside. All right, so this is what they look like in the package. Let's get them out. All right, so here's what it looks like. It has a little Petco love thing on it. This feels so soft, so soft. And these are also US 9 memory foam, created for maximum comfort, flexible and lightweight. So let's get them on my feet. Okay, so that was the 360 of the shoes. You saw me putting them on, walking around a little bit. And so right out of the gate, I'm gonna say I prefer these over the last Clarks. And here's why. So first of all, they have the memory foam, and they have cushion. Now it's about the same as the Clarks. Let's see. So if we are to compare the cushion, it's about the same. But these Skechers feel like there's more cushion. And the bigger thing for me is that they have the memory foam in there. So it was more cushiony than the Clarks for sure. It's not the most cushion, but it's more cushion. So when I was standing on the hardwoods, it didn't feel like, oh, I'm going to be able to feel the floor soon and I can feel it under there, like there wasn't enough cushion. This had plenty of cushion and support. Um, we'll see compared to other ones. Like, so far this one is better than the last one. So this Skechers Bobs is better to me than the Clarks. The other reason is this is so stinking soft. It's dumb soft, and I love that on my foot. It also just it slid right on, even easier than the Clark. So I just slid my foot right in there. It went to where it's supposed to go. I will say, and I forgot to say in the last one, the Clarks were true to size. So the 9 fit my right foot like a 9 usually fits my right foot. And that's how I test it because my right foot is bigger by half a dang size. Um, these ones are a little bigger. They're not crazy big. Like I wouldn't say you have to go all the way up another size at all, but just keep in mind if you like them super snug, these are a little bit bigger than what the size is. It's not even a whole half a size, but it's enough where there's some room to slide around in there. These are wide feet friendly-ish. They're not the widest. They're not, I don't think they're, yeah, they're not made wide. Like the size is not 9 wide, but it is wider than some of the other ones. So keep that in mind. Overall, I like it for 34.95. Again, way better than if you were to get a Walmart slipper for 20, 25 bucks. Way better. So, so far this is the winner, but we still have 4 more to go. So let's get to the next one. Koolaburra by UGG Women's Sonele Slipper. Let's look at them live and in person. And so these are 44.73. Just a couple bucks more than the last one. And they always have like serious packaging, like their packaging is it's UGG status. So there's the inside. They're pretty. So pretty. I never claimed to be a professional singer, you guys. Okay. And so for anyone who has never had Koalaburras or Uggs, so Koalaburra is a step down from the Ugg, but it is still made by the same company by Ugg. They're always cheaper than Uggs. And to me, actually, they're easier for me to get on, so they're more friendly for wider feet and so on and so forth. So soft. So soft. This is one thing I love about Uggs and Koolaburras. Just you touch it and it feels so daggone just amazing. Okay, so the sole, let's compare it to the last one. So if you remember, the Clarks and the Skechers were the same, um, what you call it, same size sole. I would say, I can't get it exactly lined up. They're about the same. Uh, let's see. Let me turn them this way. The Koolaburra looks a little thinner, but now that I put it up, it's about the same. So you're getting the same width sole as the Clarks and the Skechers. However, you can tell the difference. And this is, I forgot to check the bendiness of the Skechers. Yeah, that one's not really bendy either. So if you need bendy, the Clarks so far was the only one bendy. These are not really bendy. They feel more like a shoe. And just me feeling the difference between the Clarks and these Koolaburras, the quality, you can feel the quality is better. That's just reality. And they're only a couple bucks more. So let's get them on my feet and see what they feel like. Okay, so as is per usual with UGG or even Koolaburra, you can tell the difference in how they feel. So, first of all, I wanted to draw your attention to this. It may seem like nothing, but it gives it a little bit, a tiny bit of a give. It's so soft. I cannot even. The support, it's like I thought. So it looks the same. The sole, the cushion, the sole support looks the same as the other ones. It is not. It is not constructed the same. This is, I'm like stomping with the other one. It is supportive. It feels thicker than it is. The one thing I will say, and this, you either love this or you don't. I love it even though my feet don't usually like to be like strangled, the way that UGG constructs it, it doesn't feel like it's being strangled. It feels like it's being supported, and I can't even describe it. If you've never worn Uggs, it just feels like you're wearing luxury and like they've got you. Like I can't even describe it. You see, I'm looking up because I'm just trying to think like what words do I use to describe this. So it does like hug you which is the same as Uggs. Like, and sometimes I have trouble getting the tall Uggs on because they're so like snug. But when you're wearing it, I can't describe how much better that makes it feel. It's just amazing. So if you don't like it to be like tight on your feet, don't get this because it's tight on your feet. And I have wide feet, so maybe if your feet are skinny, it won't be like that. But if you have wider feet, it will be super snug. Again, I like that, as long as it has some give. The Uggs material does stretch. It may take a little while to stretch enough, but and it's not the widest thing, but it's to me it's wide where it needs to be, at least for me, is here right above the middle. So, this obviously, as you can tell, is my favorite thus far. So, let's go to the next one. So, yes. Anyways, here is another Clark's. This one more closely resembles the last one, the Koolaburra. And I tried to get the next three are similar. So I wanted to kind of see for these if they are the same, if one is better than the other, and all of that fun stuff. So this is what it looks like, and it is $49.95, and this says indoor outdoor. So let's just take a look at it live and in person, yeah? So it's here is the box. Oop, up. So this, yeah, you can tell these are more constructed like a UGG for sure. They're trying to be as soft. They're not as soft as UGG or Koolaburra. They're not. Just I don't think anyone can do it like they do it. Probably they get a discount on the material they use because they use so much. I don't know. So here it is. Let's get the Koolaburra and compare. So I would say that the Clark's is the Koolaburra is a little bit bigger in the back. I don't think it is on um, yeah, it is. Okay. So the Koolaburra is just larger, period. Larger soul. And then they both have, nothing, no lip kind of coming up there. So let's get these on my feet and see what they feel like. Okay, so that was the 360 of them. And then I also compared the Koolaburra to this on my feet because when I first put these on, I was like, oh, that's nice. This might be as good as the Koolaburra. They are soft. They definitely have some cushion. They just felt good. So I was like, okay, this is good. And they're what, 49.95, and the Koolaburra was 44. So these are $5 more about. And keep in mind that some of the colors on all of these, the prices will vary based on the color. Um, so there's that. um, the Koolaburra on my feet compared to this, as soon as I put the Koolaburra on, it was 1,000% obvious it was a better slipper. It felt sturdier, it has more support. So the reason that you would pick this Clark's over the Koolaburra is if you don't like a slipper that snugs your foot. So this has room in it to scooch around. If you like it where your foot is tight, then get the Koolaburra. If you don't care either way, if you ask me which one is better, the Koolaburra. It has more support. It's cushy. That fur in there is like, woo, it's warm, it's amazing. And then the Koolaburra, as is with any UGG or Koolaburra, it is true to size, as in it conforms to or fits to your foot. So like if you're like, I'm a 9 or a 9.5, you probably want to go with a 9.5 just to be safe. But that's true with all Uggs, all Koolaburras. They tend to be exact, precise sizes. So, you know, if your foot tends to expand and go back down, you have to be safe versus sorry. The Clarks, there's way more room of give in there. And the way that I like my shoes, I usually like about this much extra on there for me. So keep that in mind as well. But if you compare to the shoes that I normally wear, I normally get a 9. So these are true to size in that regards. Again, the Uggs, the Koolaburra, my bad, is very tight, and the Clarks has some room to play with in there. So let's go to the next one. Do. Yeah, silly. He's so silly. Okay, the next one is the Dearfoams. These ones always, I feel like Dearfoams, at least back in the day, used to not be as good quality, but now when I look at them, like this one, that looks pretty dang good. The sole looks freaking thick as heck. And they look nice. Let's get these Dearfoams out and see what we're working with. And here's another thing I didn't think of. One of them has shed all over my black shirt. I don't know which one because I wasn't paying attention. So this is 100% guaranteed you'll love it. I don't know what they do if you don't, but so it's called Fireside, regulates temperature, moisture wicking, low maintenance, indoor/outdoor. I love that regulates temperature kind of thing because, and it says 100% genuine Australian yearling. It would be nice if they do regulate temperature because my silly self, I go up and down and up and down, sweat and I don't, and I sweat and I don't. So I have to keep taking off slippers and putting them back on and changing socks, and you have no idea. So they're thick. They feel super light. And to me, not in a good way. They're not bendy. Um, interesting. What is that? It's just I don't know. They're soft, but I don't know, like they're nowhere near UGG quality. And we'll see how it feels on. The sole feels like too light. Like, let's see. Yeah, like this slipper is way heavier. So if you like them like light, this is probably good for you. We'll see when they're on. So this one's way heavier. Let's check the Koalaburra against it. Yeah, so this is just, well, yeah, the Koalaburra feels a little bit heavier, but it's lower profile. That's one of the things I love about UGG. They can just do it in compact and quality. I can't even. Okay. So let's just get this on my foot and see what's what. And I'm gonna compare these to the Uggs on my feet right now. Okay, so that was the comparison and the 360. Man, this is a doozy. I think I'm gonna make a chart for you guys on like all the different things because so this deer foam compared to the Koolaburra, um, the the front part is it hugs you. It's not like, but compared to the, I'm starting to, let me make sure I get this right because now I'm starting to mix them up. So the Clarks, this one, um, had more room than this deer foam. This one is more snug than the Clarks, but it is longer. Like the fit, the true to fit or not, it's a little bit longer than I would like, so it makes it feel super clunky. So the Clarks feels more like the Koolaburra in how it's snug in the front, but then it feels like it's ill-fitting on the back half. So the Koolaburra has more support, but it is harder than the Dearfoam. But it's the Dearfoam does not have a lot of support, if you will. Let me compare to the Clarks. So the Dearfoam has thicker cushion. It's more or thicker support and cushion. So Clarks versus Dearfoam. Dearfoam has thicker support. And overall, if the Dearfoams weren't clunky feeling, they'd be great. They'd be my second pick besides the Koolaburra. I just feel like these are super clunky, like there's this much room at the end. So these are not true to size, these are bigger. So like this is a 9, I should probably order an 8.5 basically for it to not be clunky. If this was an 8.5, it'd be my second pick behind the Koolaburra. So there's that. It is, the Dearfoams are warm. They feel pretty well constructed, not like a Koolaburra and UGG though. You might have to get a new one next year. So for $49.95, I'd probably just get the Koolaburra because it'll last. I will make a chart at the end of all this stuff so you guys can compare them next to each other because everybody has different things that is most important to them or what they like. So final, our final is the most expensive one, which is the UGG Women's Disquette. So let's take a look live in person. As is always, UGG's boxes are legit. They're large. Oops. They're large. They're solidly constructed. That's just how they do. Oop. Something fell out. Probably the UGG. This is a real UGG. There they are. And my family knows there's two things that I like. UGGs and Guess purses. So yeah, so that just feels like stupid solid. Now, sometimes a slipper being super solid is not good because then it makes me trip. So we'll see. And the funny thing is, so I guess it depends on which kind of fluff you like inside. I prefer the Koolaburra ones. It's like a flat fur versus this fluffy stuff. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but I prefer the flat. But I also, again, get really hot. So sometimes when I have this big floof stuff here, I get sweaty. So as you can see, this I was going to say mama jamma or mother. So this thing is thick as you know what, which again, I either love or hate. I love because it gives me support or I hate because it makes me trip. So let's get it on my foot and see which it is. So that was interesting. I did a 360 and then I compared them to all the other ones. This thing is a freaking beast. And when I say beast, it could be good or bad. So, one, this made me taller. Not one of the other slippers came close to the high profile of this. It is solid. It is large. Um, it doesn't feel large like how do I say? Okay, so I don't want to say it doesn't feel large like you won't trip because it's just weird. So this my foot comes to the same place that it does on the other ones, but it feels like it's too short. So it's like the padding inside there comes shorter. I don't know if you can see. It ends shorter than the other ones. It ends shorter than the other ones, so it feels like it's too short. So I would have to go up a half a size on this to not trip and fall or feel like I'm going to trip and fall. Like I literally almost twisted my ankle. I don't know if you guys saw that in the 360. When I went to first put it on, I literally like almost twisted my ankle. So I would have to go up a half a size to a 9.5. So again, I got nine in all of them so that they were comparable exactly. Normally I do have to order a size up in the Uggs. So that's true to form. If you look at their comments on all Uggs, it's get a size bigger, get a size bigger. The Koolaburra though was fine in a 9. So it is also not Ugg though, it's technically Koolaburra by Ugg. So man, is this worth $100? It depends on what you like. If you like a big profile slipper, almost like a big shoe, yes. If you like a ton of support, like this thing is beefy, okay? Yes. Um, if you just want a slipper to wear around the house, um, that is not like a shoe, no. This thing is pretty like I try to think about when I'm doing errands, when I'm doing chores around the house, or I walk back and forth between like I'll forget what I'm going to get, or I'll do one thing, I'll pick up one thing, go in another room, put it down, pick up something. I'm like all over the place all the time. This to me is not ideal for that because it's just so clunky. It's just so clunky. Now, this doesn't say indoor, outdoor. I mean, this seems like it would be built for outdoor. Um, if you were trying to wear them outside, I could see where this would be a bonus. This would be the one to pick. I'm like super torn about this. First of all, I don't think, okay, so I think that out of some of these other options, there are better options depending on what you like, depending on what I like. I'm going to go with the Koolaburra. That's what I'm going to say yes to. Would I like to have these? Sure, but I don't think they're going to be my go-to slipper. They're going to be for specific things. Um, if I need to stand in one place for a long time, these are great. If I'm doing stuff out on the patio and I need my feet warm, yes. It also may be different if I ordered a half size bigger and I didn't feel like I was going to break my ankle. Because honestly, with this size on my foot, so it's not true to size, this is a 9 compared to all the rest of them, this would be 100% no because I will twist my ankle. I will twist or break my ankle if I wear these. But I can't say that going up half a size would do the same thing. I don't think it would. So I think if I went up a half a size, I'd be okay. Are they $100 worth of? Yeah, I don't think so. I think the Dearfoam for 49 is close enough to this thing to be okay. The only difference is this thing will last you a good like 10 years, not kidding. Dearfoams will not. So, God, this is a hard one. My number one pick is Koolaburra, period. Then it's probably Dearfoam. And then Skechers. And then the Clarks. So I don't think, and look, I am an UGG lover, believer. I've been wearing UGG since I was young, and I used to take it for granted, like, oh, whatever, they're UGGs, whatever. Then I tried to wear other stuff when we were, like super broke. I would try to get like the generic cheap stuff. It sucks. Like if I try to put that on now, and it's because I'm older and because I have different requirements. Okay, when you're young, you can wear things with like no soles, no support, no cushion, no nothing. But as you get older, that stuff is important and you realize it. So when I put on something cheap versus when I put on my Uggs, night and day. I will spend normally 150 bucks for a pair of Uggs because they will last and my feet don't hurt afterwards after wearing them, and they stay warm. So that's the biggest thing. Some of the other ones, they just don't keep your feet warm. So there's that. But I don't know that these slippers are worth $100. $50, yeah. Maybe 60. Yeah, they're not enough better from the Dearfoams. Really the only thing is the thick. And again, that can be a negative if it's going to make you twist your ankle. So this one really is about preference and what you prefer. If you like big profile UGG stuff, get that. And you like, you need to make sure it lasts for 10 years or whatever. I can't guarantee you 10 years, but I'm just saying they last longer. I mean, you can tell just the way the construction of it is, and you can't tell as much on the camera, but just you can tell the difference in the quality. So again, if you have 100 extra bucks to spend and you like a big profile, yes. For me, I like to keep it low pro, and you can see it's still very well constructed because it is Koolaburra by UGG, so they're still very well constructed, and they're only 40 something dollars. And for me, it's about the low profile. I like to not trip over myself, but some of you may not be prone to tripping, so you guys let me know what you think, especially if you have these UGG slippers or the Koolaburra or any of these. Let me know what you think of them. They all have 4.5 stars, so they're good enough for a lot of people and they fit a lot of people's needs. So I think it really just comes down to what do you prefer? And for me, it's going to be the Koolaburra for 40 something dollars. My number two is Dearfoams. This would be only if I had $100 to throw away and I would wear it a couple times. The ones for 29 and 35, if you need support and cushion and whatnot, I don't recommend them because you can go another $10 and get something better, even this or the Dearfoam. So the Clarks, I was actually disappointed because are usually fantastic when it comes to support. So I don't know what happened there. So I feel like I've been talking forever. Um, Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, this was helpful. So, if you are going to buy them from Amazon, please follow my link and do so, so at least I can get a couple of pennies or whatever. So, I would appreciate it. Thank you guys, as always, for hanging out with me today. If you're new to my channel and you liked this content, make sure you subscribe. Thank you to all my current subscribers and all the people that support me. You guys are awesome sauce. So, I will see you guys again soon. I'll do the slipper wave instead of my normal wave. Bye, guys.